that I got closer and closer and closer to the time for me to leave my job.
Yeah.
When I left my job, yes, my salary was cut almost in half.
Yes, yes.
I lost, I don't know how many thousands of dollars a year just by retiring from my job. And sometimes, you wish, Lord, maybe I should have stayed there. And I should have told my wife that. But do you know what? God has not allowed me to miss one meal.
That's right.
God has always allowed us to pay our bills, maybe not on time, but He has always made a way for us to be able to do what needed to be done, even though my money has been cut short. But I had to keep going by faith. And there are times when I said, yes, I need to go out and get another job. But God is like, no, you don't. You have a job. And so we have to keep going and watch this. Even in the church itself, there have been struggles and there have been hard times. I was thinking about it last night and even this morning. There have been people to come and there have been people to go. One of the things, sometimes things hurt badly when people leave you and when they go off to do what they have to do. I've had people even write letters to me and say that I'm gone, I got to get out of here, and never really gave me an explanation as to why they were leaving. Some have gone because of misdeeds of members in the church. Some people have left because of me, because they didn't like what I was preaching or they didn't like what I was teaching, but I had to keep going. And even though it seemed like the church was about to empty out, I had to keep coming every Sunday. And even though the offerings began to decline, I can't walk by sight, but I have to walk by faith. To believe that God is going to make a way regardless. And this is why sometimes I stand up and I talk to you about, if there's no one else here but my wife and myself, and I hope it never comes to that, but if God says stay there and keep preaching, then I have to stay right here and keep right on preaching and telling people about the gospel of the good news of Jesus Christ. So you see, when we go through and we talk about faith, I'm not just talking about faith just to preach another message to you. I'm telling you that yes, when the Lord said, let us pass over to the other side, there were times when I felt just like the disciples. Lord, don't you care that I'm out here perishing? That I'm out here about to go under? Lord, don't you see what's happening? And there are times when I have looked and I have prayed, Lord, touch the hearts of your people. God, move upon their lives, help them, strengthen them, turn them around, make me better, make them better. Lord, help us. And it seems sometimes the more you pray, the worse things get. And it seems like when you're over here trying to straighten out this fire, without a fire start up over here. During this course of time, I have had people talk about me. I have had people say that he can't do it, it won't be done. I have had some people encourage me. I have had people slam me and put me down. I have had good friends, people that I considered very close to my heart, who did not agree with some things that I did or said and begin to turn their back on me, as it were. But I still had to keep walking by faith. Preachers have come, preachers have gone, and I had to continue to walk. And if that wasn't enough, you should have been with me the day that I walked into the doctor's office and the doctor first told me that I had cancer.
Come on, sir.
And do you know what that's like when you have never had to deal with that? My wife sat there and cried. She was in tears. And the doctor said, well, we've caught it at a good time, and so all we need to do is just operate on you and to remove the tumor. I went through that. I'm thinking, okay, Lord, thank you, praise you, give you glory and honor and praise. And within the next few years, I went back to the doctor and he said, you got cancer.
Come on, sir.
And so what are you going to do when you are facing cancer for the second time? And I had to go through the treatments and all the radiation, and in going through the radiation, there were times when I did not feel like coming here preaching. Someone asked me to come and do a funeral service for them. And I didn't feel like getting out of the bed hardly, but because God has given I got up and I went on to do what the Lord had told me to do. And then when I got over my cancer for the second time, can you imagine what it feels like to walk, to have the phone ring, and they're asking you about, and it's the doctor's office asking you about your youngest son, and saying that he needs to make another appointment or to come back and see us again. And I'm like, why? What's going on? We have found a mass in his chest. My family appointed me to be the one, as we call this family meeting, to give him this news. Now, can you imagine how it feels to watch him cry, and you have to stand there and be strong for him and believe God for him that, listen, it's going to be okay. God is going to make a way. Don't you dare give up. Don't you think that this is the end? And I had to encourage him when I myself would have to go somewhere and cry. I'm telling you, this is a faith walk. It's not an easy walk. People would like to make you believe that everything is just hunky-dory and you're just going to sail through this and everything is going to be fine, but that's not the way it's going to happen. And so what happened is we wind up going with him. And I had to watch him go through chemotherapy and watch him begin to dwindle, watch his hair fall out, watch him while he was not feeling well, laying down in the bed, not able to get up and not feeling like getting up. And I had to encourage him to get up. And every time we went to the doctor's office for chemo, I didn't feel like being there, watching him go through that, but I had to be there and yet believe God. And during the course of that time, I'm telling you, there would be times when I would get up in the middle of the night, and sometimes my wife would ask me what's wrong.
Come on, sir. Jesus.
And I had to tell her, I don't want to see my baby die. And so I'm praying, I'm crying, I'm asking God, don't do this. And I had to hold on to faith, and then I had to come here and preach to you all. And when I got here to preach to you all, not every Sunday was it easy. Because I had to deal with what you were going through, and I had to deal with your attitudes, and I had to deal with all the things that you were dealing with. And when the enemy was fighting you, and when the enemy was attacking you, I had to encourage you and let you know that it's going to be okay. All the time, needing God to say to me, it's going to be all right. And you know, it's something about God. He can be the strong, silent type. When you really need him to speak to you real good, it seems like that's when he goes somewhere and gets quiet on you. And you're listening to hear a word. God, can you tell me something? God, can you say something to me? And you're there going through it, and it seems like God just clams up on you and says, you know what you need to do, just do it. I've spoken to you and I've told you that you need to just keep moving forward. You told him that it was going to be okay, now you got to believe that it's going to be okay. And I don't have to keep telling you this every week and every month, because all I have to say is just one time, and that should do you. He went through all that he went through, and he got well. His hair grew back, his complexion came back, he got stronger, and everything was going along fine, and I'm thanking God, just like you are now. Hallelujah, thank you, Lord, that you brought my son through this. And then all of a sudden, he goes and visits the doctor again. And the doctor says the mass is back. And they had to do all sorts of biopsies and whatnot. And the first time they said we didn't see anything, it was just scar tissue. And we were praising God and giving God glory because all it was scar tissue. But they kept probing and they kept looking and they kept digging, and finally they said, oh no, this time he has another type of cancer. And the doctor said that it is rare that you have one type of cancer the first time and then it morphs into another kind of cancer the second time. And he was going to have to go through this all over again. And how many of you know when your children are going through something, you are going through that right with them? You're not excluded from that, and sometimes you think you can't detach yourself from that. You cannot remove yourself from that. And now, God, where are you? God, we need a miracle. God, we need you to help us. God, we need you to be there by us. And it was like God was like,
Come on, son.
prophesy and so on and so forth. And I had to still believe that, yes, this is the second time, but he's going to be all right.
Amen.
God is going to bring him through. And again, I had to watch him go through chemo. I had to watch him go into the hospital. Go up to the hospital almost every day to sit by his bedside, feeling helpless, not knowing what to do, not knowing sometimes even what to say. Had to watch his attitude because sometimes I had to figure out that he didn't want to be bothered.
That's right.
Then sometimes I had to know when he wanted to be bothered and when, you understand what I'm saying? But it was all by faith because I couldn't see it with my natural eye.
That's it, sir.
If I was going to depend on my natural eye, I would have gone crazy. You probably would have had to put me into a mental institution because I felt like all of these things were happening and going on. And as far as even health is concerned, I thank God that he's sitting back there right now. He is going for that. Here in the ministry. We thank God that he's holding on. We thank God for the progress that has been made. As a matter of fact, we went to the doctor this Wednesday. The doctor told us, he said, his x-rays look so good. And we thank God because he brought us through that. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. It is like when you get out there on the lake and the storm arises and you're going through this. I mean, the waves are tossing and the wind is blowing and sometimes we're like Peter. I'm not going to say me today. We're like Peter. If that's you, Lord, bid me to come out there. Come on. And when we step out there, instead of keeping our eyes on God, we look at all the waves and whatnot. And there was a time when I was looking at the waves and I did begin to sing. And I began to ask God, God, is this really what you want me to do? Or am I like Moses? Did you bring me to this point and now a Joshua needs to take over? And I was really sincere about that because I felt like, God, are you through with me? Are you finished with me? God, have I reached the end of what I'm supposed to do? And now do I need to step aside? Because you see, I was looking at the waves. I was feeling the wind blow. I was watching the ship being tossed to and fro. And as I'm stepping out here on the sea trying to believe God, my mind gets off of him and I begin to sing. But the Lord had to reach down in his mercy and had to lift me up. And he told me one night from about 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock one Sunday morning, he says, no, I'm not through with you. And I'm not going to say all that he said to me, but by the time he got finished, I rolled over and went to sleep just yes, Lord. Only God can do that, but we have got to have the faith to keep on moving and the faith to keep on believing God and the faith and the maturity that even when I don't feel like it, I'm not going to go according to my emotions. I'm going to go according to my commitment. And this is what God is looking for in each and every one of us. And then if that wasn't enough, it was like the enemy was throwing everything at me, including the kitchen sink. One night I had to get up out of the bed. I was laying in the bed and I was tossing and turning and wrestling, and I was telling my wife something's wrong with my heart. My heart has an irregular beat. And not being one to like to stay in the hospital, I finally said, well, let me go on over here to the emergency room. Laid me down in the emergency room, hooked me up to this machine. When they hooked me to the machine, the machine was just going crazy. My heart rate would go up to 103 and drop back down to 60 or 70, all within a few minutes. And I was wondering what was going on, but then I thought I heard the doctor say that we can get his heart rate right, he can go home. But he wasn't even talking about me. And I was telling my wife, oh yeah, they said that, if I get my heart rate right, I can go home tonight. She you're not going anywhere. And they came in, they put the IV in my arm. I'm like, oh Lord, here I am. But God brought me through that. And he brought me through it to the point that when I got out of the hospital, I had a speaking engagement, and I went on to that speaking engagement because of my commitment and not how I felt. When the doctor diagnosed me with diabetes and he diagnosed me with other sorts of things that's going on in my body, I could not allow those things to stop me from doing what God has told me to do. So now, has God healed